All right, hello wine drinking people. Today is Thursday, the 4th of October. Getting ready to party down in Las Olas tonight at the New River Art Gallery. And then we've got our California Cult tasting here tomorrow night. Just sold out, but we've got a lot of other great events the month of October, including our Symphony of America Wines of the World tasting coming up in a few weeks at the Hyatt Pier 66. And then we got our Vintage Bordeaux tasting coming up a week from tomorrow night. I think we still have a few seats left for that, all the way back to 1949. Only $195. How did we do it? I don't know. Well, one of my favorite wines, well, I always say when Opus One gets dropped off at the back door, it's like a little pile of money, because this is the most successful wine venture in the history of the wine business. And I can't think of two people that have been more influential in the wine world the last 100 years than the Baron Philippe de Rothschild or the late, great Robert Mondavi. And these are the two gentlemen that started this winery. It was shortly after the tasting of Paris in 1976 that people in France started to take notice of these California wines. Hey, there was two wines from California that blind beat all these great French Burgundies and top gross of the Medoc. Can you believe it? No, they couldn't. So, well, people, like I said, started to take notice, and Baron Philippe de Rothschild did a little research and found that the Mondavi family, well, one of the longest histories of making fine wine in Napa Valley. Robert Mondavi, a pioneer in that regard, known as the Test Tube Winery in the early 70s. And hey, those two wines that won the Paris tasting, Michael Gergich made one of them, the Montelena Chardonnay, and Warren Winarski made the other. And guess what winery those guys worked for before Michael Gergich started his own winery, before Warren Winarski started his winery? Robert Mondavi. That's right, the first two winemakers at Robert Mondavi Winery, then the great Zelma Long. So it's just a slew of great winemakers throughout the years. At Robert Mondavi Winery, Opus One started in 1979. Well, that was the first vintage. And God, we had that wine at a vertical that we put on at Cafe Max. 26 years of Opus One in concession. Every single wine going back to 79, all still drinkable, all still very good. The 79 being a lot of people's favorite. And we had it in 2010 again at the Great Wine Seminar with the CEO, David Pearson of Opus One. And again, that wine was phenomenal. Hey, I still have, I think, 2 bottles here at the store. Perfect looking bottles of 79. In addition to the 2009, which we're offering you here on release, $198. Hooah! Well, guess what? Have all the wines at auction at in the aftermarket. Opus One still commands a very high price. The 1979, the first vintage, sells for over $700 a bottle, which I think it costs like $39 on release. So a pretty good return on your investment if you bought the 79 Opus One. Well, check it out. Everything that we've got in our store, going back to 1979, we got half bottles of 84 and 85. We have an incredible collection, magnums, different sizes. Check it out along with our current release, the 2009 that we're offering you. I'm your host, Andrew Lamposoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.